Hello, welcome to a visit with Nana and Papa. I'm Nana,
I'm Papa.
and today is July
Today is
23rd.
Sunday, July 23rd.
No, it gotta be the 24th.
No, it is the 20. Baby, I just pulled up my watch. It says 7:23, Sunday, 1556.
That's weird. I always thought that Lynette.
That's not the year.
That's so weird. I always thought that Lynette and Sam and I were all on the same birthday. Maybe her birthday's July 30th. I suck right now. Sorry, Sam. I know you didn't watch this, but I'm sorry.
You don't know she's
not
not
good at
watch this.
birthdays. Not good at I'm horrible. He would tell you I'm horrible
I
at
have to
birthdays.
check and see. I don't remember.
Anyway, admin-y stuff. Just checking in. We do have our summer top mount 2023 summer top mount 2023. I think that's what it is. Summer top mount 2023.
Do not look at me
It
for direction.
it is still going on. You have throughout the summer, so basically the end of September, to be able to enter any top. You can enter on Ravelry or on Instagram. If you're in Instagram, it's the hashtag. I will have the hashtag and the Ravelry link to the group where you can post your pictures in the notes below. The stitch along. I don't want to call it stitch along. Because I'm not sewing, so the make your first sweater, or make a sweater, the sort of quasi classes for Tif Nielan's pattern. You can either do Stripes of Joy or you can do Vibes. If you want to attend, you do need to either email us, or some folks have been messaging me their receipt on Instagram. That's fine too. I am Creations by Valerie on Instagram. He's Fishing Cowboy on Instagram, but it's FSHN Cowboy.
Which has often been accused of being fashion cowboy. And anybody that knows me knows that is not true. Everybody's dresses is a fashion statement. Mine is mind your own business. I have the Hank Williams Sr. fashion statement. If you mind your own business, you won't be minding mine.
So, you can email
Good
a visit
song.
with Nana and Papa at gmail.com. And we do need a receipt. If you send a receipt, you'll get a link to the Zoom meetings. If we don't get enough interest in it, then we'll cancel it. I'm just trying to offer it because I've had lots of people say, I'm afraid to make my first sweater. I really want to try to make a sweater, but I've never done it before. And this just seemed the easiest way to make it happen. If you're not interested because the time we've chosen is not good for you, feel free to reach out and say, I would do it, but that's a really bad time for me. I would prefer for blah, blah, blah. And we'll see if the other people who are interested are okay changing it. Right now, I only have 2. So I'm probably not going to do it just for 2.
Yeah. But speaking of changes, you and I were talking about changing what day we actually upload a visit with Nana and Papa.
Yeah.
So that we're not uploading the same day as a couple hundred other people are uploading the same
content. There's so many people out there. There's no way to maximize it, but I spend my time editing on a day when there's so many things for me to watch, to catch up on, and I would rather be able to edit on a day when there's very little.
So this is more about Valerie.
No, but also it's lots of things. But I would prefer for it to come out when people don't have a lot of the other things that they could watch, and maybe we do hope that people want to watch us. I mean, I can guarantee I'm not everyone's cup of tea. I've been divorced more than once. I'm definitely not everyone's cup of tea.
You're my cup of tea, baby doll. I love you.
So that to clear that not mine, but I just want to bring it up. The End AIDS Cal for Pride ends at the end of this month, I think. Maybe it's coming soon. But the new one is going to start September 1st. And I'm super excited because it's all accessories. So it's little bitty projects. And it's to help make things for Knit the Rainbow, which makes me even more happy because I've been wanting to make things for Knit the Rainbow.
Yeah.
So
my middle granddaughter reached out to me. Her mother got her a Facebook Junior account. So my 10-year-old granddaughter, Abigail, reached out to me, and we have been visiting, and she is learning how to crochet. She's not doing a great job right now. She says she's struggling. I told her she could do a face-on-face with her Nana, and her Nana would show her how to do it. But she is going to make us dinosaurs. So I am looking forward to getting a dinosaur from my beautiful monster, Abigail. By the way, I love you, Abigail, and I'm glad you had a good birthday. I wish I could have been there. Now, back to you.
So, just so you know, and then that means that D-Stash is coming back, so there's going to be a new D-Stash for good. So, if you want to D-Stash some yarns and you want to do some good in the world at the same time, so you get some money and the fundraiser gets some money, it's kind of a win-win for everyone. He will be taking entries. It's Gary Knits, Gary Rides on Instagram. So if you follow Gary Knits, Gary Rides on Instagram, he'll be posting. And his D-Stash is D-Stash for Good. So it's a D-Stash, the number 4, and the word good on Instagram. And that's the channel where he'll be accepting them. But he always announces it on Gary Knits, Gary Rides. So you can keep up there as well. I feel like there was something else I wanted to... that was like fundraising, doing good. Anybody who's in the DC area, please go support Gathering Yarns. Tell them Valerie wishes she could be there.
And spend a lot of money buying yarn. One of the things Valerie always wishes she could spend. Somebody is going out of business, and she has just been foaming at the mouth, beating her head on the wall, and talking in her sleep about not getting to go shopping. And I told her, baby, if you can get some good buys, then get some good. She said, no, I'm not going to go buy yarn. I don't need any yarn right now. I wanted that in a plaque, put on the wall.
I
never thought I'd hear those words out of these lips.
I want to have enough money when I go to New York to get a sweater's quantity of non-superwash wool in DK weight that I consider to be soft and I can wear it next to the skin, but is not superwash and is woolen spun, so that I can get it and make myself a sweater. That's what I want.
Y'all seen the wall in there?
No, they haven't seen the wall in there. They don't need to see
One of these days, y'all going to get to see the wall in there. And you tell me if there's a freaking sweaters quantity of yarn in that wall.
I can guarantee you there are lots of sweaters quantities in there. There's not one single sweaters quantity in DK weight yarn. I do not own enough DK weight yarn.
For those of you who are like me that don't know what DK is, no, it's not DK Holmberg. In fact, because of her and DK, I've started calling him Double Knit. But that's what DK stands for when you're talking about yarn. Is double knit, DK. So now he's double knit Holmberg.
It's a weight of yarn that's heavier than fingering weight, but lighter than worsted and lighter than Aran. And so it's just like the next step up. Well, there's a sport weight, but sport weight is like in between DK and fingering weight. Anyway, when you're in the U.S., DK weight is not a standard term for yarns, but only in like acrylic brands, for lack of a better word. They don't use the terminology DK. In the UK, they do not use terminology of worsted weight. They don't have it. They have DK weight, but they're not the same. Because it's weird, because worsted weight sits between DK weight and Aran weight, and sport weight sits between DK and fingering weight. And in the US, they don't typically use fingering weight. Don't y'all yell and say, yes, they do, all the yarn shops. I'm just saying that the Craft Yarn Council originally just did 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it was called a number 2 light or baby weight.
The Craft Yarn Council?
Yeah.
Is this like a freaking wizards council and they all get together with the little knitting needles and I say that this is going to be skinny ass freaking yarn is DK weight?
No, it's not. I don't know. I just know that's what it is. So,
super skinny yarn is going to be lace weight.
So a lot of people who are new to knitting and crochet, who only shop at big box stores like Joann or Michael's, and we're not going to list the other name or Hirschner's good. Anyway, those yarns have on their label, they don't say DK, they don't say fingering, they just have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And so anyway,
is the bigger the number, the fatter the yarn, or the smaller the number, the
bigger
fatter
the
the
number.
yarn?
0 would be lace.
Because see, 0 shot is big shot, and 7 shot is little shot.
Yes,
so
I know.
You're going to get shot with an ounce of shot. It doesn't matter if you get a shot with an ounce of double-aught buckshot or an ounce of number 7 shot. The buckshot's going to go deeper, but the 7 shot's going to spread wider, and they're going to tear your ass up. Bottom line, you don't want to get shot with shot.
Good to know. I
Good
don't
to know.
I don't want to get shot at all. But but it's the same kind of in a way with yarn, because you can have 100 grams of yarn, and you can have 100 grams of the number 7, and you have 100 grams of the 0. You still have 100 grams of yarn. But this is going to knit a whole lot more stitches than this. But these stitches are going to be really, really, really tiny, and these are going to be really, 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 really big. So, it's still 100 grams of yarn. But for me, I don't want to wear a number 7 yarn, or 6 or 5. So anyway, I'm hoping to get the DK. I think that it'll make a great winter jacket for me. So I'm hoping. Anyway,
what you got on the needles right now, baby?
Can I talk about what I'm wearing first?
What I'm wearing is off the rack, synthetic, and getting tighter every day. Here you go. What are you wearing, baby love?
I'm wearing a Love Note.
Love Note.
I did not put the lace.
It looks mighty nice though. And it feels nice.
And the yarn I used here
was good yarn,
is,
as opposed to her itchy scratchy yarn that she still says is soft.
I can't remember the name of the colorway, but
I believe that's seashell, Bubby.
Nope, it is not.
Are you sure?
I'm 100% certain it is not. I have seashell.
I know you have
I can pull
seashell.
it out if you'd like me to, but this is not. This yarn came from Chelsea Lux Yarns, and I don't know why I can't think of her name, and it's bugging me. Christina. I think it's Christina.
You're looking at
Chelsea.
me.
From
You're
Chelsea
looking
Lux
at me
Yarns.
for answers. That's funny.
She's from New Jersey, Anyway, and it's really
We had
really
a
nice.
friend that was from New Jersey, and I always called her Miss New Jersey. And then she went and got married and moved to Israel. So now she's not Miss New Jersey anymore. Now she's Mrs. Israel. And there's a whole lot of Mrs. in Israel, but she's the only Mrs. Israel. So how you doing, Mrs. Israel? Hope you're doing well.
I miss her so much.
We used to hear from her every day.
I used
And
to talk to her every morning. It was the best morning. Best way to start my day was to have a friend. She would put me on speakerphone, and she would call me, and she'd get in the car, and then I would talk to her as she was driving to work.
And she
almost
lived-
every morning she would hit this pothole. Oh!
she
Damn.
lived in New Jersey. It wasn't just this pothole. She would hit a pothole. It's not like the woman was ignorant and didn't know that there's a pothole right here on 44th Street. I should move over 6 inches. No, it was. In some countries, you drive on the right side of the road.
No,
In some countries, you
that's
drive
not-
on the
no,
left side of the road.
no.
In
This-
New Jersey,
this
you
is
drive
not-
on what's left of the road.
No, I don't know about that.
Yes.
In this particular case, it was the same road, and it was a road that had more lanes than just one, but she always got in that same lane, and she forgot the pothole was there, and then she would hit it again, and then she would hit the same exact pothole again, and then...
I was trying to give you more credit than that, Mrs. Israel. I'm
then-
sorry.
So then...
Didn't have to tell all that.
No, because it's a funny story. So then one day, as we're talking, she's so frustrated. I go, well, do you know my version of the Serenity Prayer? And she goes, what's that? And I go, God grant me the serenity to accept the people I cannot change, the courage to change the person I can, and the wisdom to know the person is me. And so then she said, so you're saying it's my fault that I'm hitting these potholes?
We still love you.
So anyway, and so now that started us saying pothole. So whenever we were having a rough moment, we would just say pothole. And then we would both start laughing. I miss that. I miss her. She's a good person.
She is. And she's
Anyway.
a mother.
She is an amazing mother.
We
Anyhow,
worry about her all the time because, you know,
it's scary.
That's a tough neck of the woods. She got good training in New Jersey. You know, New Jersey is a good place to be trained for going and living in
It is
Israel.
not. But
It
you
is too.
It is not that bad. You don't talk bad about places you've not been. So, shh. We're going to talk about knitting.
Yarn. I've never been to
Okay.
New Jersey. I've just read about it.
So this is the sweater. That is the Vibes tee. That's part of that. We can knit it together if you want to make one of your own. I am using yarns. These are all fingering weight yarns. The first one and the third one, the very light and very dark purples, are from Dystopic Fibres. He's out of the UK. I purchased them from the Wool Patch, which is a shop, I want to say in Milford, but I could be wrong. It's the home of wool dyeing or indigo dyeing. Anyway, it's been a wool community for a very long time.
Who is your friend
And-
that's going out of business?
I am fully spun. She's not a friend, I don't know her, but I've been supporting her business, and the first yarn that I spun this year during the multicolored one, that came from her, and she's decided to close her shop.
Okay, I am fully spun. Check it out.
Yeah, if you can help her out so that when she closes,
Help her
there's
out, help you out.
there's nothing left in, nothing harder than when you're trying to close your shop and trying to just get the money back that you put into all the inventory and move on. To have stuff left and not have the money back that you put in is so hard. The light or medium purple is Long Dog yarn, and then this green is Stranded Dyeworks. This is the only skein that I know the colorway because it's my favorite green. It's called Thrive.
Mm-hmm. Angela knows that. We were talking. Angela came to our tea time.
Yes, she did.
And as soon as she mentioned her favorite green, Angela said, "How do we thrive?" See, Angela's wise woman.
Angela's the one that sent me the extra Thrive because she's such a wonderful human being.
She is.
Anyway, so this is where I'm at. I am going to do. I have 2 repeats completed. Just barely started my 3rd repeat after splitting for sleeves, and my goal is to do it a little longer than the pattern says, I think, but I'm going to try and get 3 full repeats. Unfortunately, it's iffy on whether I'm going to make it because we're playing yarn chicken.
See, I call it knitting chicken. I think knitting chicken sounds better than yarn chicken.
If you're crocheting, you also have yarn chicken. When you're weaving, you have yarn chicken. You can't just say knitting chicken. What about crochet chicken and weaving chicken? And it's a lot easier to say yarn chicken. We're not talking
about either one of those. No, we're talking about knitting, and that makes it knitting chicken.
I'm just saying that there's all those crafts. So if you just say knitting chicken, then everyone else doesn't have a chicken. But if you say...
Maybe they shouldn't have their own chickens.
So yarn chicken covers all the bases. I've played yarn chicken when I'm crocheting.
See, a friend of ours from Valerie's old job that moved to Alabama, started raising chickens, Melanie. Melanie got a garden. She's got all kinds of chickens now. She's been showing pictures of her chickens. Her garden's having some tomato issues because of all the moisture. But she is picking up new hobbies right and left. She's learning how to make cheese right now, if I remember right. So good luck on your cheese, Melanie. I hope you do well.
Thank you, babies. Okay, next project.
We're not talking about a single movie. All we're talking about is yarn.
We're gonna do all that.
We're just gonna do all at one time.
Yep, we're gonna knock this out. Huh. So this is a sock tube. Who cranked my tube, babe?
Aquila.
Yay.
Lefty Knitter
podcast, Aquila. And I am making a mitten. I have a thumb. And I'm knitting the hand part up here.
It's gonna be fingerless.
Yeah, it's gonna be fingerless. And then I'm gonna do another one. And then I'm gonna take the rest and make shorty socks.
See, I'm kind of iffy on that term because a mitten is a glove that has 1 thumb and 1 fingers. If it has no fingers, is it a mitten or is it a sleeve?
Or is it a fingerless glove?
It's not a glove if it doesn't have actual finger spots.
Fingerless gloves have like this individuals.
They have nubs of the fingers.
Yeah.
And are you going to have nubs? Are you going to have nubs?
Nope, I'm not.
So this is nubless, so it's not a fingerless glove.
So it's a fingerless
mitten. It is not a mitten.
Yes, it is, because it has everything except the cap.
Which makes a mitten.
Anyway.
It has everything except the definition of a mitten.
Whatever you want to call it, that's what I'm making. And I'm intentionally hoping to make these for work. Like where my thumb and fingers have more room, but it's keeping my hands from getting cold. Because oddly enough, my fingers and my feet get cold when I'm working.
Because you don't have enough circulation, my beautiful.
So I need some help with that. So
I should come in and massage you. What the hell are you so stiff from? All you've been doing today is talking to Valerie. How did that make your shoulders stiff?
Oh,
Valerie, our poor friend Valerie, she's trying to get home.
Oh, she's getting there tonight. She'll be there.
She is taking the equivalent of the slow boat from China.
But she has no choice. Even if everything went perfectly smooth, it takes her 2 days to get from the United States home. No matter what. But things did not go smooth. So it's taking her 3 days.
I watched a video with a woman fighting with her husband because her husband was giving the baby chunky peanut butter. And the baby not supposed to get that because it has nuts in it. And she brought him out the creamy peanut butter. It says, this is the one that you can give him because it doesn't have any nuts in it. It says, peanut butter. Yeah, but this is the creamy peanut butter. It doesn't have any nuts. That's the crunchy peanut butter. That has nuts. Don't be giving that to the baby. At which point in time he needs to make arrangements to not let that woman be left alone with the child ever.
I'm sorry, but that's funny.
That's
funny. Sad, but funny.
It's crazy. But
Well, there's been lots of that lately.
there's a lot of there's something in the water.
So, I just want to say that I won't do this again. And I don't mean that I won't use the tubes or make things with the tubes, but I will keep them for socks. I had to cut where I wanted to put the thumb, and then add a thumb, and then I'm having to knit off of the tube onto here, and it just would have been a better fitting mitten if I had just made it from scratch, from just regular yarn. And I'm having to undo what was done that I paid for to get done to do this. So I'm not going to do this again. I will do it for the second one.
Oh, that's good, because otherwise you'd be doing that one hand. This hand's happy. This hand's not. This hand's happy. This hand's not.
And then the other thing I wanted to say, though, is the hung hem. It's not perfect. I think I did okay.
Mm-hmm.
On my stitching, it's even. However...
Yes?
Is that stretchy at all? Could you put that over a foot the way that is?
What this down here, not even, kind of. It don't stretch. It'll probably break.
Yeah, it is not. I cannot. That is not. I don't know how I need to do a hung hem, but I can tell you how I did it. It's going to work fine for my hands and for me to wear it as a glove, because I have itty bitty wrists, and there's a lot of me that's not itty bitty, but my wrists are still itty bitty.
I love you, beautiful.
So, I don't know. And so, if y'all know the best way to do a hung hem, not on a sock machine, I would like to know, so that it will be super stretchy, because I really do like how that looks. I think that would be a nice look on the top of a sock, and if it was stretchy, maybe it would fit good. I don't know. But I'm not going to do it until I find something that works, because if this had not been a mitten and I had done this, there's nobody's foot could ever get in here.
Nobody that could actually wear the sock.
Yeah. you could put it on a baby, maybe.
My grandson used to like to put my shoes on when he was a little boy, and he's wandering around with these big-ass shoes. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, he could fit his foot in there, but it would not fit.
Not anymore, but when he was little, he would have been able to. But yeah, it's just very sad. Anyway, but hey, not everything we try turns out really well.
That would be why there is divorce.
Are you telling me something I need to know? Or
nope.
So,
not at all, my puppies.
Yay.
Not at all.
So we have seen this before. However, we do have a bound off bottom of the sweater.
Looks nice.
And
she did not put it on so I could take a picture and share it with you, but it looks nice.
Yeah, but it won't take me that long to be done.
She planned on having it knocked out before today. But she did not.
My hands can't.
Her hands are not doing so good. Her hands are like my breathing.
Yeah, they're just not good. But I do have some inches on the sleeve. Thanks to this morning's Zoom knitting, I got a little more than an inch done. I had an inch when I started, and I think I'm at 5. So I did manage to get 4 inches, but then my hands started hurting, so I had to stop. Now, last thing on the fiber side, I am still spinning. I did take one day off this week. I want to say it was Friday. I can't remember. Maybe it was.
You didn't spin. I could have.
There was one day I didn't, but I don't remember which day. And
I
then
don't remember not hearing no.
the day that whichever day that it was just because my hands were hurting, and I just didn't. I didn't really knit much that day. I didn't spin much I just didn't.
I think that was Friday, Bobby.
I think it was too. But I ended up playing video games on Pogo for his sister. Strictly because there was nothing that my hands could do that didn't hurt. And so...
Clickery did not hurt.
But other than... Other than that one day, I have spun every day. I just don't have anything to show you because the two singles have not yet been plied.
They're still resting.
And the green, I am down to one little... There's a word for it, and I can't remember the name of it. But it's where I pre-drafted a bit of fiber to spin, and I am spinning the next to last one, and I have one more to go. I'm almost done with the next to last, and then one more, and then that bobbin will be complete, and I will put it on hold. That bobbin, there is not enough of that fiber to like make a full skein. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. I do have some other fiber in a blue that I could maybe ply together where it becomes blue and green, but I really don't want to. So I'm thinking I do have some undyed fiber, and although I was planning on taking that fiber and spinning it and making a white, I'll never wear white anyway. So I think I'm going to take one of those 4-ounce braids, and I'm going to dye it the same light green and wait for it to dry and spin it up to ply with that. The concern I have is that I only have 3 bobbins, and with this yarn being on the bobbin, I'm really limited in what I can do. So I will probably dye that up either today or tomorrow so it can start drying, so that once I'm done plying the other 2, I can then start spinning the next braid, and then it will be a light green yarn. I may choose to make it a light green and a dark green so that when I ply it, it kind of changes colors as it goes. I'm not certain, but we'll see.
Do you remember the name of that movie we watched?
On there? No, but I can find it while you talk about the other books and movies.
Okay. I just, that's a movie that we can recommend to people who don't want any kind of sex or violence or swearing or anything. It's
that's all I have with yarny stuff. I haven't been making, I don't think I've been working on any other stuff. I'm trying to think if anything else. No, I have not. I'll bring it. I'm going to go ahead and talk about this just real quick. Will you hold this up?
Mm-hmm.
So, I blocked this so I could see it. It's kind of wrinkled now, but do you see how these are not lying flat? I'm not liking what I did. And so, I haven't decided if I want to rip it back or if I want to try and come in on the inside. Because if you look on the inside, I have holes. So I'm thinking on the inside I can pull those stitches in on the holes and kind of
stitch them together.
Stitch them down, and so I might do that on the back side so it's a little cleaner. I haven't put any work in it, not because it's boring, but because I'm not liking how those braids stop. So, and this side I think is even worse than that side. But anyway, so who knows what I'm going to do with that. Maybe I just leave it and live with it the way it is.
As far as books and movies, books I've only been reading. I finished The Raid, and I started The Mountain. Once again, these are, I believe Stephen Conkley is his name. He's actually an ex-Navy person. I did a little research on him. Been doing a lot of different things of research. Went to 3 different movies. 2 of them were absolutely awesome. One of them was not. I had been so looking forward to seeing the Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse because the first Spider-Man with Miles Morales was awesome. It was great. I loved it. The second one, I did not. The artwork was not as good as the first one, in my humble opinion, and the story did not please me. When you make all of the universe go after Miles Morales because he's not supposed to be a Spider-Man, I don't like that. So I didn't like the way the movie went, and I didn't like the way the movie ended, and the movie ended with "to be continued." If they had told me that this was not a standalone story, I wouldn't have bothered going to see it. Being as the way they've done the first part of this story, I may not go see the second part of the story whenever it does come out, because I did not care for this version. I'm trying not to give any spoilers, but for those of you who did like it, more power to you. It was not my jam. Definitely not my cup of tea. The 2 amazing movies that I wholeheartedly endorse. The first one, I've been doing some research, and all of the research that I have done so far, this movie is doing a pretty good job of panning accurate. It's actually portraying the events correctly, with very little Hollywoodizing, ad-libbing, and aggrandizing what's going on. And it is Oppenheimer. And it is a great movie. It's a disturbing movie on several fronts because you get to see what happens to somebody who irritates Congress. And you have a brilliant man who the government came to and asked him, would you head up this project because the Germans are trying to make a nuclear bomb and we need to stop that, and we need to get a nuclear bomb before the Germans, because what a horrible thing it would be if the Germans got the nuclear bomb. So he says yes. And he succeeds, and then because he embarrassed a politician, this politician sets out to ruin this man's life and does a really damn good job of it because he's got enough power as a senator to pull this crap off. It was very enlightening. So I highly recommend going to see Oppenheimer. It's an awesome movie. Bounces back and forth in time.
I want to just say, I wish they talked about the people who were harmed in the U.S. by the testing of that scene. I know the focus was him, but I feel like we never acknowledged publicly, we never acknowledged all the people in New Mexico, especially Native Americans, but all the people who were living in New Mexico at the time who were damaged by it for life.
Mm-hmm. One of the many things that haunted the actual person, Oppenheimer, he was very distraught over what they did with what he discovered. So, from everything I can tell, it sounds like he was a pretty decent human being that was just trying to prevent more atrocities. Mm-hmm. And when they used the bomb on civilians, he was torn up very deeply with guilt over what they had done. The other movie, surprising, I went and saw Barbie. So I'd heard a lot of stuff about it, good, bad. It's doing really well on Rotten Tomatoes. But I'm going to tell you right now, I saw an ad for it that said, if you hate Barbie, this is your movie. If you love Barbie, this is your movie. And I'm like, well, you're all liars because it can't be both. It is. It absolutely is. But there are so many good messages being presented in this movie. There are so many things that should be eye-opening in this movie that I encourage everybody to go see Barbie. And go and take your boys and your girls, whether they are into Barbies or not. They don't have to be into Barbies. This is a good foundation for them to get the message of the movie. And the message of the movie is excellent. I'm not going to give anything away. I'm just going to tell you, you should go see Barbie. And I am absolutely stunned that those words are coming out of my mouth. But I'm telling you right now, Barbie is an excellent movie. And the people who walked out of that movie that said this movie was garbage missed out. That's all I can say is you missed out. We did see something. We watched Star Trek's what is that? Strange New World. And we don't do. I do, but she doesn't do animated very well at all.
Nope, not very well. I just don't do animated. I'm not. It could be amazing, but I just don't. Okay, I know it's a thing. I get that, but I liked Snagglepuss and Foghorn Leghorn, and I know now today that there were some seriously bad racist crap in those things. And I loved Speedy Gonzales, again, some seriously racist. But I'm just saying, those cartoons, when I was a little kid, but I never did, still don't, like the cartoons that were like, what's the one with the dog? Shaggy?
Scooby-Doo.
Okay. So, I don't like Scooby-Doo. Never did.
I thought you didn't like Scooby-Doo because of somebody that you didn't like that loved Scooby-Doo.
Can I finish?
Yes.
I never liked that. I never liked, I don't know what there is, Josie and the Pussycats? Is that what it was called?
Yeah, I believe it was. They even made a live-action movie about it.
I never cared for them. It's not that there's anything wrong with them, but they weren't my childhood cartoons. Okay?
Yeah.
They came out after my parents split.
Yeah.
And so they were in my household when I had stepbrother and stepsister and a stepmother in a time that was literally the worst time in my life.
Yeah, understood.
And so I equate those with some really bad stuff in my life. And I don't blame my stepmom or and may she rest in peace. I don't blame her. I don't blame my step siblings, which now they're adopted, so I guess they're not step anymore. Sorry. But I don't blame my brother and my sister. It's not their fault. But it was just, I was in a really, really bad place. It happened right after somebody turned me into their toy, and I never did find any joy in watching them.
Mm-hmm.
And I still can't. I don't know. Give me regular people, or give me animated that don't have people.
But anyway,
go ahead.
This particular episode of Star Trek Strange New Worlds started out with animation, where she's like, what the hell is this? It turns out it was Star Trek The Lower Deck. I have not seen any, but I'm going to go watch it now because they took two of the characters from Star Trek Lower Deck and brought them into
Strange New World as real people.
Real people. And they were from the future, so they had to be very careful and not give away anything in the future so that they didn't screw up the future and wind up making themselves not exist. So I thought it was a very clever blend and well made, very entertaining. So
I enjoyed the episode, but I enjoyed that show very much. But I will be a Trekkie until I die. Sorry, Star Wars fans. Y'all can have your Star Wars. You can enjoy it.
Star Wars is good.
There's nothing wrong with it, but I would not go out of my way to watch a Star Wars, Clone Wars, or any of the, I'm not...
I don't know. There was one that you liked that we watched from Star Wars.
No. I know. I'm just saying I don't... I
don't think you ever got into The Mandalorian, though.
Actually, I don't mind it. I would watch it. I just would not...
If you're going to watch it, you better get it watched because after this month, we're getting rid of Disney.
I would not, set an alarm. Oh, my God, it's on. Or I would not remember. Oh, my God, it comes out today. I would not, yeah.
Yeah, see, we don't watch $12 a month worth of Disney to keep paying $12 a month for Disney.
I don't know. I don't dislike it. The first movie I ever saw without my parents was episode 5.
Oh,
right?
I was supposed to...
4 came out first?
I don't know.
Wasn't it episode 4 and then 1, 2, and 3 came out when I was an adult?
Yeah, probably.
So, I did not see 4. It was episode 5. Empire Strikes Back is the first movie I ever saw in a theater without my parents. Now, don't get me wrong. I was still with adults. But it was with my aunt and my uncle and my cousins. And it was the first time I'd ever been to a movie that wasn't with my parents. And I never forgot it. And I loved it. But Patrick Stewart, Picard, changed my attitudes towards sci-fi. And was the reason why I started reading sci-fi books. Mm-hmm. Anyway, go ahead.
I was supposed to remind you about Ramosa headband.
Oh, I purchased a new pattern today. It was $2, so just so you know. And I plan on making a bunch of them. It is a lace headband that the person designed because her hair was like mine, not short and not long, but that in-between horrible stage. And so she designed this headband to hold her hair up until her hair grew out to be long enough to not be annoying and still not short. So
the short long combination is schlong.
I am so sorry. Do I bleep that the hell out?
Well. Anyway.
So I'm going to I'm turning red. Anyway. The pattern has... I'm going to put a picture up for you. It's just $2. You can make it in any weight of yarn. She gives you the instructions, shows you what to do, and it has a little bit of ribbing in the back just to cinch it up and make it less fabric underneath the back of your neck so it's not super bulky back here. And the rest of it is nice lace. And so it's not too hot of a headband. Keep you nice and cool, lift your hair up if it's hot, but also not, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I'm going to make the first one with Holst super soft. And if I like it and it's comfortable to wear, I'll continue making them in the Holst because the Holst is incredibly inexpensive and I can make multiple colors of it. So that's it. That's all I had about that.
Just for those who don't know, because some people don't keep track of that kind of stuff, Tony Bennett passed away this year, so if you enjoyed his music, then take a moment to play a Tony Bennett, play your favorite song, and wish him well. And I had to go down to South Austin to the sleep apnea clinic for appraisal, and the last time they appraised me, they were going to do a home study and just send me home with a kit, and I was supposed to do some kind of stuff before I went to bed and then wear this stuff and then take it off in the morning and bring it back. When they did this appraisal this time, they decided that perhaps I needed to go to an actual sleep study hospital and spend the night. So in September, I get to go have a sleep study done. Now, a friend of mine who was a co-instructor with me back in my Navy days, Lou Beers, his wife posted a comic on Facebook about a sleep test, and it's got this guy with wires all over his body, a tube and a thing shoved onto his face, and something else going on. And the nurse looks at him and says, "Okay, now just sleep naturally." And the guy's looking like, huh? Yeah, I thought it was good timing on her part, so thank you, Corrine.
So should we talk about Plus One?
Oh, Plus One. Okay,
So,
Plus One is
wait.
a movie that my mom and sister can watch.
First, before you say that, just need to say, Rebecca, I will message you. But Rebecca wants this. She needs distraction. So as many of these,
Okay.
we can send her to her.
Barbara.
Yeah, Barbara.
Barbara's mom, mother-in-law can watch
But it's
this.
not on Netflix. I don't know if they have Prime.
I'm sure Barbara has Prime.
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think they shop at Amazon at all.
Huh, well, okay. Anyway,
I don't know.
This is on Amazon. And it is, we watched something else on Amazon, or no? We were trying to find something that wasn't garbage to watch.
Because there's a lot of that out there.
And it had to fit her mood, so we were searching, and we came across Plus One at an Amish wedding. And I hadn't flipped off from it, so it started playing a preview on it. We're watching the preview, like, I looked at her, so she's like, yeah, whatever. So we watched it. And
I enjoyed it a lot. I will say that if you do not like Hallmark movies or you did not like the Lifetime channel, that's not your ballywag. It's probably not the movie for you because it's pretty formulaic to me of those.
It was just like watching an Amazon movie that was pirated off from Hallmark channel.
Yeah, it literally it was almost as though they took the Hallmark, because almost every Hallmark movie, city person goes to the country, meets a boy, city girl goes to the country, meets a boy, falls in love, but then there's this drama. When they're not going to work out, but then they work out.
This just throws them being Amish, but it's a good movie. There's no swearing, there's no sex, there's no nudity.
They don't even kiss in the do they? No, they do. That's it. That's just they did a kiss.
Yeah.
One kiss in the whole movie. Well, I don't think the married couple, I don't think they showed them kissing either. There's just nothing. It's clear they care about each other, but
it's a good movie. It's clean.
Very wholesome.
It's entertaining. There will be some chuckles. There will be some.
Need a tissue if you're like me.
There'll be some parts where you just absolutely hate some people in this movie, and that's because
I didn't hate anybody.
They did a good job of doing their acting. Unless they were typecast. If they were typecast, well.
Anyway. It was enjoyable.
It was a good movie. It's safe for the whole family.
I also want to talk about my book.
What book? Your what is her name? The
Viola
actor,
Davis.
Viola Davis.
I think it's called Finding Me. I'm pretty sure that's the title, but it's her memoir, and I got it as an Audible book. I'm gonna stop doing Audible, and I'm gonna try and do the other app that Jim
Scribd
has, which is Scribd. But I got it as my last book on Audible, and I am loving every minute. And by that, I do not mean that this is an easy to listen to memoir. But she brings the reality of being black and poor, just makes it so real. And I don't have any idea what that's like. The poor part I have down. I've been there, done that, know how bad it can be.
Well, I don't know. She had a pretty... There was poor, and then there was...
Poe.
Capital... Poe. Yeah, she put Poe. And
I've been there, but not for the time frame. My experiences were a couple years here, a couple years there, a year and a half here, a year and a half there. Homeless 3 times, but no, I have never endured or even been close to enduring a life.
Finding Me, a memoir by Viola Davis.
So good. So good. And if you don't follow her on Instagram, you should. She is just a ray of sunshine in the midst of darkness.
See, speaking of Instagram, I'm not big on Instagram. I'm learning. But I've been doing more Facebook since we started doing this. And I found some of our friends on Facebook, and I found some of our friends on Instagram. So now I've added friends to from here. And if you follow me, I'll probably follow you because, that's just being nice. And then I got people following me that I have no idea who they are. But from some of them, I'm the lucky winner. It's your lucky day. I picked you.
It's coming because I, at least once a week, I don't know if y'all get this, because I'm like, did you look to see that I'm a woman? Because I get women's profiles that follow me that ain't wearing nothing. Their profile picture is them bent over wearing nothing.
I didn't think they could do that.
I didn't think they could either, but it happens on a regular. It's very annoying.
Is this on Elon Musk's?
No, I don't do Twitter.
Oh, okay. I don't do Twitter either. I didn't really do anything until recently.
I did set up Threads, so I have Threads.
Oh, yeah.
But I haven't even introduced you to Threads because social media is not your jam, and it's just literally barely started, and so why add more? You're barely doing what you're getting to know what you're doing now, so we leave it at that.
I do what I do for you because I love you.
I love you too. Trying to think. So next week we'll be here, but this week I'm going to try and get this up today, but starting next week I am planning to upload the video on Wednesday.
Wednesday?
Yeah. I think it's the best day. Okay. It's the slowest. I think it's a good day.
We'll try it.
Maybe Monday.
If people don't want to see us on Wednesday, then you tell us what day works best for you. What day would you look forward to seeing Nana and Papa?
They can pull it up anytime they want, but I just feel like there's days in which I don't have anything to watch, and then there's days in which I have way too much to watch. And definitely Saturday and Sunday are pretty video heavy, and Friday is also massively video heavy. So I'm just trying to find a time that's a little less video heavy.
Okay, before we go out, I'm going to tell a joke. A little boy comes home from school and he says, "Dad, I'm confused. I got to write a paper about where I came from. And well, where did I come from? He says, well, God made the world, and then he made Adam and Eve, and then Adam and Eve made the rest of us. That's where you come from. Oh. He's not really buying on this, so he goes and asks his mom, says, Mama, where did I come from? He says, well, the planet kind of just cohesed in space, and when it got fit for life, then life started growing, and it started splitting, it started changing, and things would evolve, and eventually there were monkeys in the trees, and those monkeys evolved into humans. That's where you come from. And he is now real confused, and he goes, Papa, this is not working for me. You said that we came from Adam and Eve, and Mama says that we come from monkeys. I don't understand. He says, son, I told you where my side of the family came from. Your mama was talking about hers. Oh, come on, Valerie.
That's almost as bad as what was it? I don't understand the difference between dent and dent. And I'm confident and confidential.
Oh, confident. Dad, what's the difference between confident and confidential? He says, you are my son, and I am confident of that. Your friend Billy next door is also my son, and that is confidential.
Have a good day, guys.